Welcome to The Explainer. You know, every day we trust that the food we eat is safe. But behind that simple act of trust is this massive, incredibly complex system of prevention and detection. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on the invisible guardians that protect our food from things that really shouldn't be in there. Okay, let's just dive right in with a headline that would send a chill down any parent's spine. This isn't just a minor quality issue, right? This is a critical safety failure, and it highlights exactly why the systems we're about to explore are so absolutely crucial. So, to really understand how this problem gets solved, we first have to get our heads around what the problem even is. What is this unwanted ingredient that food producers are in a constant battle to keep out? Well, the industry has a technical name for it: a foreign body, and they actually break it down into two types. First, you have endogenous, which means it comes from the product itself. Think a cherry pit in a pie or a bone in a fish fillet. Then there's exogenous, and that's everything else: a piece of plastic, a metal shaving. Now, for the factory, that distinction is super important for tracking down the source, but for the person about to eat it, yeah, for us, it doesn't matter one bit. Whether it's a bit of a stem from a fruit or a metal screw from a machine, if it's not supposed to be there, it's a problem. We see it as a failure of both quality and safety. We expect perfection, and really, the entire industry is built around delivering just that. Now, here's what I find really fascinating. The industry's main focus isn't just on catching these things after they're already in the food. Nope, it's all about prevention. It's about designing a system where it's incredibly difficult for contamination to happen in the first place. And that proactive mindset, it starts with this deep, systematic analysis of every single hazard. They literally walk through every stage of production, from the moment raw ingredients arrive at the factory doors to the final sealed package. And they ask, what could go wrong here? What's the worst-case scenario? And the level of detail they go into is just amazing. They get super specific, especially about the human element. They're asking questions like, could a button pop off a coat and fall in? Could a hairnet tear? It's all about imagining every possible point of failure before it can ever happen. This table breaks it down beautifully into the four main risk areas. You've got human factors, stuff like jewelry, hair, even a pen in a pocket. Then there's the work environment itself. Think flaking paint from the ceiling or a broken light bulb. Of course, you have the machines with thousands of moving parts that can wear down. And finally, the materials used to handle everything, like wood splinters from a pallet. Each of these categories needs its own playbook of controls. But prevention can never be 100% perfect. And that's where this incredible lineup of high-tech guardians comes into play. It's like building multiple layers of defense to catch anything that might have slipped through that first wall. The first layer of tech is often the most straightforward. You've got powerful sieves that separate things out based purely on size. Perfect for catching bigger objects right at the start. And you have these incredibly strong magnets placed along the production line, just waiting to snatch out any bits of iron or steel. So after the magnets, you get the metal detectors. Now these are way more sensitive. They basically create this balanced electromagnetic field. And the second a piece of metal passes through, even deep inside a loaf of bread, it disrupts that field. That triggers an alarm, and usually an automatic arm just pushes that product right off the line. But here's a really wild detail. How easily a metal wire is detected can totally change based on how it's oriented. An iron wire, for example, is easiest to spot when it's lying flat, parallel with the conveyor belt. But a stainless steel wire, it's easiest to spot when it's standing upright. It's bizarre, right? And it's exactly why these systems have to be calibrated and tested so carefully. All right, for the highest level of security, and for all the things that aren't metal, manufacturers bring in the big guns: X-ray technology. This has nothing to do with magnetism. It's all about seeing differences in density. The process itself is unbelievably fast. A product zips through the scanner, an image is created instantly, and the system software analyzes it for anything that looks out of place. Because a small piece of glass or a tiny stone is way denser than, say, a bag of chips, it shows up as a dark spot on the image. The moment the software sees that spot, poof, the product is rejected. And the sensitivity here is just staggering. A standard X-ray system can spot a piece of metal less than a millimeter across. It can find glass or stone as small as 2 millimeters. Just think about that for a second. We're talking about finding something smaller than a grain of rice inside a sealed package while it's moving at high speed. It's incredible. Okay, but what happens in that 1 in a million case where, despite all of these defenses, something is found? Maybe it's caught internally, or maybe a customer reports it. Well, there's no panic. There's a calm, methodical plan for that too. The key thing here is that a very structured procedure kicks in immediately. The goal isn't just to deal with that one object. It's to trace it all the way back to its source, figure out how big the risk is, and then make a tough decision about the entire batch of product. And, maybe most importantly, they put corrective actions in place to make sure it can never ever happen again. So, you have all this amazing technology, all these detailed procedures. It's seriously impressive. But the entire system of food safety is built on one final and honestly most critical component: people. Because at the end of the day, a machine is only as good as the person who calibrates it, who maintains it, and who monitors what it's doing. You can have the best system in the world, but it all comes down to a culture of safety. It relies on employees who are aware, who feel responsible, and who feel empowered to speak up if they see a potential risk. And this isn't a one-time thing. The training is constant and it's comprehensive. It's not just about learning how to operate a machine. It's about training people's eyes to constantly scan their environment for risks, to know the exact protocol for something as simple as a broken jar, and to actually learn from past mistakes. They are the final and most important human shield. So, when you step back and look at the billions of meals produced every single day, what does it truly take to achieve this near-perfect level of safety? It's this relentless combination of prevention, technology, and procedure. But most of all, it's about people. An army of invisible guardians working together. It's a system so effective, most of us never even have to think about it. And that kind of leaves you with a final thought, doesn't it? What other invisible systems are out there quietly protecting us in our daily lives?